say matters.
Until this camera is rolling.
100%. So we were just talking about Bebe Rexha's new album, music in general.
Okay, yeah.
And you were
Amazing.
saying.
So I was saying about the song.
I'm Blue.
I'm Good, Blue, whatever.
Yes.
Who was that originally by? Eiffel 65? What is it?
Something, yeah.
Something like that where, you know, obviously we know what song it's directly.
I'm blue. If I was green, I would die.
Are they saying if I was green?
If I was green, I would die. Yeah. That took me a while to learn because that was the anthem of our childhood roller rink parties.
Yeah.
Am I right? Roller
Correct.
Rink parties.
Do you know what's crazy?
Is that something kids do?
I don't think I ever went to a roller rink party, but I heard it
gay.
And
you were never invited.
And
yeah.
you were the most...
Totally, but I hid it. Okay, let's have this
Oh my
conversation.
God.
Yeah.
Okay,
were you silent or silenced?
Yeah.
No, I was.
Where did my trauma begin?
I befriended the straight girls.
Same.
Especially in elementary school, I was the Screech of the popular kids. Saved
Screech
by the
was
Bell.
gay?
No, but he was like, but like they were all hot and he looked how he looked. So upon looking at it, someone would go, why is Screech friends with them? So I always used to say I was the Screech of the popular kids because they were like hot and straight. And I befriended them as like the gay clown so that they didn't make fun of me. And it worked. So I was always like kind of protected by the popular kids in elementary school.
This was in elementary school that you thought like this?
Yeah, girl. I grew up in the covered wagon days. It was kill or be killed. No, you really did.
Oregon Trail.
That's the mental gymnastics growing up gay. Like,
oh my God. You know what? And I feel like I did it maybe a little bit later.
Yeah.
But you know what? Now that I come to think of it too, even in elementary school, I was friends with all the girls. I didn't want to be friends with the boys because I felt I knew I was attracted to boys then. And I was like, no, this feels wrong. Like, I got to hide this shit because no one else is, this isn't the norm.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the trauma.
And there was actually quite a few guys, like popular guys who were nice because they were also funny. So like I was funny with them. And yeah, so I like befriended them that way. But why the hell did we bring this up? We were talking about being younger. Roller rink parties. So I was invited to the roller rink parties because of that. Why weren't you invited to roller rink parties?
Well, I was invited to other parties, but not roller rink parties.
I wonder if
there wasn't many roller rinks around me either. There was maybe one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like,
how much younger are you than me?
I'm going to be 28.
So you're 27 right now.
Yes.
And I'm 31. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4 years. That might be a big difference in the sense of like maybe roller rinks exactly wasn't the thing anymore. But that's what I mean. Me being 31, roller rink parties.
Really?
Yes, were the thing.
I thought they were like a big thing in like the 90s.
I was born in 1992.
Oh, well. Oh.
yeah. So yeah, but no, okay. Anyway, I'm Blue was the roller rink song.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah. So now when we go into this too, when I heard it too, I was afraid when I first saw that title and I heard it, I was like, oh God, this is going to be Charlie XCX, the, September fucking slayage that it was. Bebe Rexha is using the same lyrics.
Yes.
Where Charlie XCX was using different lyrics, same
melody,
and like same melody, same beat, and everything. Whatever,
the sample of the music.
Exactly. So that I don't know. It was just,
and I feel like some gays might turn on us for this because I have to say I don't really understand this hardcore gay obsession with Charlie XCX. Obviously, my favorite Charlie XCX is when she worked with Iconopop on.
I love it.
Boom boom. What is that song?
I love it. Wasn't it I Love It?
You were saying you love it. I love it. Yeah, I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
But then this new album, like, it was so sample heavy. And I'm all about a sample because whatever, at this point, we've run out of things. Or at least people who make music have run out of things. But agreed. When I heard it was her and Rena did that, like, Cry For You sample, I was so disappointed because I'm like, first, Cry For You is iconic. You'll never see me again. And fun fact, the first time I ever came out was to that song. I was playing it on repeat in my bedroom to mask the coming outery so my family didn't hear me. So we probably had that song on repeat 59 million times as I was like coming out to my best friend, like crying. I couldn't listen to it for like 5 years because trauma.
Of course.
But now it's such a good song that I was like, if you're going to use a sample like this, it needs to be as good as the original or better.
Right.
Like I'm Blue.
Yeah.
Or whatever hers is called.
It's called
I'm Good.
Or I'm Good.
Yes.
And then Blue.
Yeah. It has to be just as good, if not better. It can't be worse because then I'll just go listen to Cry For You.
And I feel like it only made me appreciate Cry For You more when I heard her version. And I was like, it is a direct slap in the face. It feels like it just didn't even do the song justice.
No.
Like I feel like I understand what they were trying to do, but it was just, it missed the mark.
It sounded like the demo.
Yeah.
For Cry For You.
100%.
100. Bebe Rexha's new album, so good. It's so disco-y. Even the cover, she has like Farrah Fawcett hair. I think people sleep on Bebe Rexha. My fiance and I went to go see the Jonas Brothers because he's obsessed with them. And Bebe Rexha was the opener. And I'm like, I swear to God, opener. And this was like a year ago, opener. And I'm sitting there saying, I'm like, this bitch has so many hits, one after the other after the other. And it
was all her songs. She wasn't doing covers. She wasn't doing anything.
A lot of her hits have been like features, like meaning she's doing the vocals on them, but she's such a prolific songwriter. She was almost like Gaga level, where she for years and years and years just wrote songs for other people, and now she started to do her own. So even when she's the vocals on a song, she's probably written the whole thing. People really sleep on her, and I don't know why she doesn't get enough credit, especially with this album being like, in my opinion, the only one right now making fun, danceable music, because everything is so either sad or like sleepy pop. It's like Billie Eilish. Like, it's just sleepy, like...
Well, that's a different level of like...
That's
if you
pop music now,
if you want to cry in your bedroom and like sob on the floor, it's like put on...
Yes.
Billy's.
Which I feel like pop music used to be such a mix of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, or at least if you got an album, sometimes there's like one or two songs on there that are like, okay, like you get a variety.
We're going to the sad part. Yes.
Right. And then it's like, ooh, skip. But like
not
the
12
whole
sleepers.
Yeah, the whole album.
Yeah, where if I put it on start to finish, you would not know where one song ended and another one started, because it's just the same, like, I'm in the
Lana Del Rey.
Yes.
I mean, again, I'm gonna get canceled for this, but
know.
I've never been
everybody's music taste here.
Oh
at
no,
Johnny
and
Ross
I really
LLC would like to distance himself from Kevin Banzhaf. No, I'm kidding. No, I agree with you. People get very whatever. Yes.
People get very, very like up in arms. And I feel like I used to get that way too about Gaga when somebody would say, oh, Born This Way was such a weird album. I'm like, you just don't like, if you don't vibe with it, that's fine. But like, it's a good album.
Yes,
you can't say it's not a good album.
And same, I would never say Lana Del Rey or Billie Eilish don't make amazing music, but it's just not my... I'm looking for...
It's not my flavor.
While the world is ending, I want happiness. I want dance. I want to... Like,
as the world is literally crashing and burning.
100%.
I just want to dance as the world goes down. Yeah.
Speaking of which, Kesha's new song. So Kesha just came out with her two new songs. Yes. One of them clearly the album opener, and another one, Girlfriend's Still Mad.
Let Her Be Mad.
Let Her Be Mad. And you know what I was saying?
Mad.
So... Kelly Clarkson finally, for the first time in 6 years, just came out with her first single, 2 singles, Me and Mine. And I love it. I think Kelly Clarkson is on par with the next generation of like Whitney Houston, Carrie, Mariah Carey. I almost said Carrie Colby, gay drag queen. Mariah Carey, like she vocally, Kelly Clarkson is a mutant. But they're sad songs, obviously, about her divorce. Yeah. And they're good. They're vocally whatever. But Kelly Clarkson, to me, is not somebody that the lyrics are going to be like mind-blowingly poetic, where Kesha can do sad stuff and the lyrics on these songs are just breathtaking. And it
truthful.
So like, deep, so moving, poetic. Like, she's also an amazing songwriter.
Right. And it's not like some like not truthful experience about her. It is her life spilled out, which I appreciate. I appreciate that takes a lot of vulnerability to be like, this is my life story.
Yeah.
In 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Here you go.
Yes. And Kesha's somebody to me that like
amazing.
When she sings that restrained, soft something, there is such pain in her voice that it's really moving. But even on top of Kelly Clarkson, like my favorite out of the 2 she came out so far is the song Mine. And literally the extent of the lyrics are like, I hope somebody breaks your heart like you did mine. And there's not many more lyrics to it. Where Kesha, we're talking like William Shakespeare. Every single verse is a completely different thing. There's barely any repeated lyrics. And it's so deep and moving. And it got my fiance and I on an entire conversation about, in today's music landscape, I feel Kesha needs more respect on her name. Because we were laying in bed thinking about all of her hits. Unbelievable. TikTok, Your Love Is My Drug, We Are Who We Are, Harold Song,
Blow,
Take It Off, Blow. I I mean, even the entire first album of Animal, I mean, if you're really a huge fan, blah, blah, blah. And just
do you remember her
Animal
feature,
itself.
What was her
303?
name? 303?
Yes, I do.
My First Kiss.
Yes,
yeah.
My
First
God,
Kiss. That was just incredible.
She blew up with Right Round with Flo Rida. You spin me right round.
I didn't know that was her until very recently. I had no idea that was Kesha on Right Round.
Me neither. And I remember it was before she had the $ in her name. And I have a distinct memory of my sister playing Right Round in the car and asking, I was like, who's the girl on this? Or my sister asked it. And I read the thing because she didn't have the $ in her name yet. And I was like, oh, I don't know, some girl named Kesha. Because we didn't know who Kesha was. So on the first album alone, Kiss and Tell, Steven, Hungover, Dinosaur, DINOSA. You're just an old man. Like the comedy of it, not taking herself seriously. And that was just
that
Animal.
was her. Yeah, but I feel like that was her thing too, that she could do it and do it flawlessly.
It was funny. It was like this white girl rapping who knew she was being ridiculous. She wasn't trying to be a rapstress, but she was great at it. Then Warrior, I think I listened to till the wheels fell off. Die Young. Come On.
Yes.
Thinking of You, Crazy Kids.
Come On is so slept on.
That's
one of my
favorite songs.
That's one of my favorite songs on that album.
And then I always say too, in this era of Kesha, this is when you knew shit was really going down. It always broke my heart because to me, Warrior could have been her teenage dream if they picked the singles properly, because they started with Die Young, which was incredible.
Yeah.
I didn't realize till I watched a documentary on her how...
there was?
She had an MTV, My Crazy Beautiful Life was like a docuseries her brother did on her. And I never realized that Die Young, it was such a hit. It was massive, but it had only been out for a couple weeks or something. Don't quote me. The Sandy Hook shooting happened. And it got taken off the air because it literally is called Die Young, and it got taken off the air. And in the documentary, she's obviously devastated about Sandy Hook and is saying I understand why it was pulled. She's like, but obviously that has nothing to do with the song. So it was kind of sad, and which I feel kind of paused the momentum of the album. But then she did Come On, which I feel like is such a good song, but it wasn't as radio-ish because it was a little lather, rinse, repeat. Where, do you know the song Last Goodbye? Amazing.
I can't believe I've never heard this song. What was that song she did with Macklemore?
Amazing. Good Old Days.
Yeah.
If somebody could have told me, babe, she is... Okay, so Last Goodbye, I was like, if Last Goodbye was the second single off Warrior, it would have shown at that time how good of a singer she was. And that's the thing, people. Don't be talking... I understand Kesha is not Whitney Houston, but not every singer to me is... I actually find singers, which... unpopular opinion, people like a Patti LuPone that, yes, vocally, whatever, she's great, but they almost sacrifice the emotion of a song to show off their ability.
The theater.
When Gaga sings like Ethel Merman, like we were saying. Patti LuPone is somebody that she's singing a song about how somebody dies and there's no emotion in her voice because she's so focused on being amazing. Where someone like a Kesha has so much emotion in her voice that, bitch, I don't care if it's a little off key every now and again because it is devastating when you hear these things. But Last Goodbye was something that was so vocally beautiful. And there were so many other things, even Out Alive.
Wow.
Yes.
I don't think I ever listened to this full album.
I'm here to make you gayer.
And I didn't think it was possible.
And there were so many songs on Warrior that were just unbelievable that I feel like her record label wanted this. Then they pushed Crazy Kids, which had that rap, and they threw Will.i.am on it, and he ruined it because they didn't believe in the album, and they kind of sold her out, and the whole thing didn't have... But there was 6 number ones on this album. Then to go into Rainbow, where you hadn't done anything for years, and to come out with Praying. That song not winning a Grammy made me stop watching the Grammys.
That was criminal that she didn't win a Grammy for that.
Unbelievable. And even on that album,
wasn't that her performance coming back that she performed it live at the Grammys?
Yes.
And it was because she had obviously been...
Yes. Well, if you really want to cry, and I'll show it to you after, her first thing back was actually the Grammys before that, because I don't think Warrior was 2012 and Rainbow was 17. So we had 5 years with no music. And the Grammys before Praying even came out, she did a Grammys performance, and I think it was the first time she ever sang live at the Grammys. It was a Bob Dylan tribute, and she sang It Ain't Me, Babe, which is such a beautiful song, and she's in the center stage of the Grammys in this white suit singing just the way I'm talking about. If you want to like see a performance that encapsulates about what I mean about maybe someone not being the best quote-unquote vocalist, but the emotion is gut-wrenching, she is standing there singing this simple song, nothing but her and a mic, and she gets a standing ovation at the end because it literally, the last word she utters, you can see her almost breaking down because everyone knew what she was going through. You have to watch this Grammys performance. It was unbelievable. And then Praying came out the next year, and that's when she performed it at the Grammys. Yeah. And you know what she lost it to? A song about being a RAPE survivor, the whole 9 yards. Shape of You by Ed Sheeran. A song about a man singing about a shape of a woman's body. And I was like, well, have a good one. And he beat that. He beat Lady Gaga's Joanne acoustic version, singing about her dead aunt. And the other two women nominated in that category, it was also songs that were like super, super meaningful songs. And Ed Sheeran's Shape of You beat all four of these women talking about their like trauma and dead relatives.
Could you imagine all their faces just looking at him, accepting that? And they're all just like,
yeah, yeah. Gaga really gets all the credit for kind of reinventing the electro pop, like Poker Face, Love Game coming out, etc. But Kesha was right there.
She's been doing that since her first album.
Gaga was 09 and Kesha was the end of 09, 2010. I was a senior in high school when TikTok came out, and Kesha was just as prolific.
I thought you meant the app for a second, and I'm like, that's trauma right there. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, no, it came out the same. It was Gaga and Kesha were it.
Which also, too, like, sue the app girl.
I know.
They took your name.
100%.
Verbatim.
100%. All right, we had to shut the door because we are almost positive that there's birds just in my AC unit.
Having coitus.
Like, I hear bird feathers like rattling in my AC unit. And
then one of them is smoking a cigarette after.
Without a doubt, these birds are going in.
Yeah.
Yes.
They are just going in like it is Anna Nicole Smith and an old man.
Totally. Do you think she ever had sex with him?
No.
Yeah.
She didn't have to.
She didn't have to. He was like incapacitated.
One foot in the grave. There was a photo of them at the altar with she's like standing there with like, bitch was gone. Bitch
she got his money, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Right?
That was sad. Yeah.
She
was a troubled girl. Yeah, I know. Well,
hey girl, get the bag.
I know. Anyway,
work.
So we want to talk about basically if you have never done makeup before and you wanted to get into makeup, what you would do if you walked into Ulta, drugstore, Walmart, Target, where would you start and what would you do?
Oh my God. I think we get this question a lot too.
Yes.
And I was also this person. I remember doing this. Do you remember the first time you bought makeup?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Or the first couple times you bought makeup.
Definitely.
What was like your first purchase that you like distinctly, you were like went in and you were like, oh my God, I remember my first brand that I ever bought, and it like blows my mind. They don't sell it anymore, I don't believe. It was called NYC, and the lipsticks were like 99 cents. It was in CVS. Literally, my friend Gab could like attest to this. We used to go in there and buy I would buy every color of everything because it was so cheap. I would literally spend $30 and have like an assortment of shit, and I would just sit there and like practice and play. The worst cosmetics I think I've ever used in my life.
So a lot of the first stuff I bought was probably like NYX, and I had one colorful palette from, I don't even know what it was. I think LA Color. Not LA Girl, LA Color. And it was like, you know those palettes that the pans were like half the size of a penny? They were so small, but it had like every color of the rainbow. And like, that's what I used as eyeshadow.
Coastal Scents?
It might have been Coastal Scents. It was Coastal Scents. It was Coastal Scents in the Morphe plastic black packaging.
Yep.
That's what
Coastal
it was.
Scents.
And then, so I had enough makeup, and I feel like I stole it from my sister to like get hired before Sephora. And then, believe it or not, like obviously we got a bunch of stuff at Sephora. And I feel like my drugstore journey really didn't start till after I left Sephora, because when I was making my bridal kit, I'm like, I'm not going to put together all Sephora high-end stuff because I couldn't afford it. That's when I started going to the drugstore and trying to build up.
How old were you when you started wearing makeup?
To be honest, I didn't wear makeup until I worked at Sephora. Yeah, and I played with makeup and like taught myself in my bedroom while I was in cosmetology school, but that would have been 2012. Like that was almost like 11 years ago.
But that's out of high school?
That's 2 years out of high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
you weren't playing with makeup when you were like 13, 14.
No.
Really?
No.
Oh my God. That's like when I started 8th grade freshman year. I was like really into it. I was working at Hot Topic at the time and they had like a makeup line. I would buy everything.
Yeah.
It was so like pigmented. I didn't know any better. I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I was wearing makeup to work, but it was crazy. Like I wouldn't wear things that were like clockable. Like I wouldn't wear like lipstick in public yet because I just felt like the gay fear of like, this is how I'm gonna die.
Totally.
So I like wouldn't wear it for a long time working at Sephora. Like I wouldn't walk through the mall wearing lipstick. Everything else I was fine with, like eyeshadow, whatever. I was like, I don't give a shit.
Oh yeah.
But there was something like Target on my back when I wore even nude lipstick. I felt like there was like this laser focus on me and it was all in my head and I was like, I have to run.
Yeah,
like,
I have to run.
Yeah, like it was that gay fear.
It was, yeah. And I don't think I wore like a full face until I interviewed at Sephora and MAC at the same time because I wanted to wear a full face to show what I was capable of.
Sure.
And then even at Sephora, I was much less brave about wearing a full beat in public. It took me a while and I don't think I would have did it if you weren't there because you did it and it kind of just made me feel a little bit more comfortable and laziness. I didn't really always do a full beat, but when I did, it was like parking garage to the store in 0.2 seconds because I didn't want to be outside of the store in a full beat.
Right, because it was like almost when you cross through that threshold of like, this
Safety.
is my home, you're like,
yeah, totally.
I win.
Exactly.
Because it's like these people, you know, if you're around it and it doesn't become as like, where there's another person almost like you wearing makeup, it's like, okay, I feel a little more safe here. I'm in my safe haven. I have the support of my people, even though there was many instances that people did not have my back there and people said some shit. And I was like, I had to stand up for myself. And then they wanted to support me. I was like, fuck you, girl.
Exactly.
Like if you really cared, you would have said something in the moment.
Yes. And so, I really don't think I kind of went out on my own drugstore makeup shopping until the end of Sephora when I started to freelance and I wanted to start stocking my kit, but I couldn't stock it with, I couldn't afford to stock it with everything from Sephora. So that's when I really started navigating drugstore makeup.
And even I feel like it's come a long way too. So especially when you're talking about stocking your kit, like it became more pro formulas for a quarter of the price, especially e.l.f.
Yes.
I'm the glow up of e.l.f.
Yes.
And I said this when we talked about the drugstore video, like when we did the podcast. Oh my God. I mean, they really came full circle.
Yeah. And they were still great back then, but I feel the same way about NYX. NYX now is unreal. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Like I feel like there was like this, they always, those blushes, you remember the ones with like the pyramids?
Yes.
The blushes, those were always fucking iconic and I love them.
Yeah.
There were so many different colors that I used to love. They used to do those random collections. Hot Topic even carried them at one point.
Yeah.
But then when they had the freestanding stores, like when we went there, just the like that free range of like they had every color of everything. They were a little more bold, a little more daring, and those pro formulas.
And when I got started, I think it was, and I talked about her last week, but I want her on the podcast so bad. I have to give so much credit to Allie Glines on YouTube because she was a normal girl doing like a normal amount of makeup. And we were coming out of the Kardashian days of Sephora where every girl wanted to look like that. And I knew with bridal makeup, that wasn't the case. And at the time, I think her acne was a little bit worse. And she was almost like kind of chronicling her journey of getting rid of the acne and doing makeup over acne, a much more realistic thing. And I just learned so much from her in those early days of like getting thrown to the wolves with bridal makeup. I started to build the kit based on drugstore makeup and I really had to navigate it. So I always tell people too, I think one of the biggest, not even misconceptions, but things people don't realize is even if you've never done makeup before and you want to get into it, I think the number one step that is so overlooked is skin prep and skincare. I've done brides and bridesmaids before that they're telling me, they're like, it always looks cakey, it always looks this. And the minute I touched foundation to their face, it was because there was dry skin on the face that if they had used the Pixie exfoliating, the Glow peel pads or a physical exfoliator, which I love, the Florence by Mills, Get That Grime. That's a great skin polish because it's very lightweight. Exfoliating that dead skin once a week, once every 2 weeks, it will change your life no matter what you put on.
And it's affordable too. I mean, I definitely feel like I use a lot of like higher end expensive skincare. And I mean, but there are like, if you're just getting into it and you need to test the waters,
Exactly.
There's affordable options, and then you can graduate to something else if you need it.
And I feel like nowadays, if I do spend the money on anything, it's skincare. That's what I would still tell people, because there's just better, more potent ingredients, in my opinion. I haven't really dove down the drugstore skincare market as much as I could, but I just feel like I would rather spend my money on a good serum, moisturizer, and eye cream. But yeah, when it comes to the exfoliation, I mean, the Pixie Glow Peel Pads and for a chemical exfoliator, and the Get That Grime by Florence by Mills, that alone will just make your skin look like absolute butter. And anything you go in on top of it, it's going to get rid of that cakey, textured look to the skin. Yes. It will just make any base product you put on look like butter.
There's so many people too that say they don't prime their skin, and I'm like, you have to. I just feel like everyone thinks it's like one of those steps. It's like, oh, this is just such a scam, and I'm like, I don't think so. Like, I really do feel like I get the benefit and the payout from using a primer, and I notice a difference.
What drugstore primers do come to mind that like make a difference?
That Elf gripping primer, the niacinamide one, or without it. I love both.
Yeah,
the putty ones are nice too if you need more of that. I just like that grip, and that I feel like my makeup just glides right over it, and it just looks stunning every time.
Yeah. So even for me, someone that's more combination, I love the e.l.f. gripping primer, but I really only do that on the outside of my face where I don't get oily, because I don't think the e.l.f. gripping primer doesn't do anything for me to obviously control oil. So she ain't gripping. Like, she ain't gripping anymore because the oil's coming through. So I would do, as a combination, an oily person, I'll do a mattifying primer in my T-zone, and then I would do the e.l.f. gripping primer around the edge. I also love, as just, let's say you're more normal, like you don't, you're not that dry, you're not that oily. I love the NYX, the yellow.
The honeydew.
That's great. But no, the electrolyte one. You know what I mean? It's
the gripping one. It's like
kind of, yes, their version of it.
Hydro Plump. No.
The NYX Plump Right Back primer. This one is also absolutely amazing. Incredible.
What I always struggled with navigating through drugstore brands was foundation.
Oh, now
did you ever?
Oh my God. Forever.
Do you?
Which, mind you, I want to throw in quick. We're talking about the products in order you would apply.
Yeah.
So we just did skincare. Now we talked about primers. Yeah.
So I would say creating your base.
Yes.
Well, concealers too.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your favorite drugstore foundation? I have two, but I think they're from the same brand. They are.
Yeah, I just opened
now I have three.
Yeah.
Now that I saw another one.
I would say I love, and this is more full coverage, but the Maybelline Superstay foundation.
One of the best. As soon as I saw it too, I was like, that is probably my number one. And that's a new formula too.
Yeah.
Now it's 30-hour wear. Yes. And I'm like, okay, first of all,
30 hours.
You're not wearing it for 24. You're not wearing it for 16. Yeah. Well, sometimes I would wear it for 16 if I had like a long day, which is like horrible. But that holds up through sweat, oil, anything. Like, it is incredible. But the L'Oreal too.
The L'Oreal 24-hour fresh wear with the
pump, the one with like the red cap the pump, and even the squeeze tube, the mattifying one.
Okay.
So I didn't use that for years, and I remember wearing it, and I was almost like, it was almost double wear to me, but better colors and not pink and gray. I love that foundation, but the one with the pump, and it's like that, is it called Fresh Wear?
The one with the pump is Fresh Wear, yes, with the red top. In my bridal kit, that became quickly, in the first year of me doing bridal makeup, the L'Oreal Fresh Wear foundation, 24-hour with the red top, that glass bottle squeeze tube, that was my...
Because it's almost that natural finish where it's like that satin
oil
skin
controlling,
finish.
but not too dry for dry skin. Yeah, that
beautiful.
I would also say, if you're more dry or mature, the ColourPop tinted moisturizer.
Oh my God,
Pretty Fresh.
When we talked about it recently, because I love it, I was like, do I still have this? And it's in like my foundation drawer, like towards the back, and I broke it out again.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
amazing.
And the coverage on it is
amazing,
stunning.
But it could be so lightweight. Like, whenever I had a girl who told me that she wanted a no makeup, she wanted her skin to look perfect without the look of having a thing, I would always do the ColourPop, because you can build it up. What is it,
$14?
And it almost has a grip to it. It has that tackiness, which I feel like it's built right in.
Yeah, and I like that too, because even if something has that tackiness to it, and then going in with a smoothing setting powder too, like, and just like pressing or any other like concealer, blush, whatever other liquid cream products, I feel like they just like melt with it too.
100%.
So beautiful.
And then in my kit, my go-to for mature skin was the L'Oreal serum foundation. The new, I think it was L'Oreal, not Maybelline. The
True Match one? The one
True
with the
Match
dropper?
With the dropper, yes, which I wish they redid the packaging.
I'm not a big fan of that dropper.
Yes.
I bought it again and it's beautiful, but it's not great for...
Yes. That
really
was because it has the perfect amount of like glowiness to it, but it's not overly. Yeah. So it's the L'Oreal True Match Hyaluronic Tinted Serum.
Isn't that the one that went like
mega viral? Yes. Yeah. But that for mature skin, that was absolutely incredible. Stunning. Yeah. I'm trying to think other drugstore foundations.
I feel like there's not many.
No, they're real. And that's the thing. That's probably one of the harder categories.
Something that I feel like is worse though is concealer.
Yes. Okay. So now into concealer. Obviously, everybody loves the Maybelline Age Rewind. Yeah. I bought that in my kit in the beginning because that was the viral thing at the moment and I used it, whatever. But the longer I used that on mature skin, I was like, this ain't it.
Okay. So here's my thing too, is that I feel like we're raving about it. We're ranting and raving. We're contouring and highlighting. And now they have the color corrector and everything. I have given it so many chances since high school. Yeah. I'm not joking.
Yeah. It just wasn't my thing.
I don't get it.
Yeah. And I have to say now, to me, the best drugstore concealer, and we're talking more of a medium coverage. We're not talking like full coverage, whatever the case is. That would work for absolutely everybody. And my test, I always say for years, if it looks stunning on mature skin, you've hit the apex of formula to me because obviously it's going to look good on everybody else. But if you have a formula that looks beautiful on mature skin, the pigment doesn't settle in the lines, is the NYX Serum Concealer. Is that, to me, is what L'Oreal Age Rewind wishes it was.
100%. No, and I remember you made a video on it and I was like, ooh, let me go try this. And it was... in fact, stunning. I thought you were going to say Juvia's Place, and I was like, that's more full.
That's full. That's my other. I love. Okay, so Juvia's Place concealer is incredible, but that is in the same category of coverage with the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. That's full coverage.
Ooh, I do love that e.l.f. Camo concealer.
That really was the first Tarte Shape Tape dupe.
That was spot on in terms of like how it dried down. So if you like that matte finish, it's beautiful.
For me, and you've used both the e.l.f. and the Juvia's Place? I find the Juvia's Place to be creamier.
Oh, it 100% is.
I like Juvia's Place. And listen, I know everyone loves e.l.f. Camo Concealer. It's never personally been one of my favorites because I just think it did what Tarte Shape Tape did. It dried down too makeup-y.
And also to the color range, I'm not exaggerating since there's no testers. I am not exaggerating. I think I bought 6 or 7 shades.
Yeah.
And I never found the right one.
I agree with you. They were always too yellow, always too light.
I bought fair rose, fair beige. I bought all of these different ones and to this day, every time I like use it in like a pinch or something, I'm mixing tan walnut.
Yeah.
Which is like my summer shade under my eye, like when I do self tanner, and I'm mixing it with fair beige.
Yes.
Because I'm like, at this point, I'm not buying any more colors. The colors that I'm not doing this anymore. I tried everything in between and it was running too yellow. All the light and like the lighter shades, all too yellow. None of them were neutral. I was like, I give up. I'm not doing this.
Where I feel like Juvia's Place, being a black-owned brand, when they launched everything, the shades are out of this world.
I bought one shade and it's incredible.
It's perfect. Exactly.
And for what, $14?
I know.
And now, honestly, drugstore prices too. I went to go buy, what foundation was it? I think it was the L'Oreal, the matte one. I went to go buy it again. I was in Target. I saw it. I was like in a pinch. I needed a foundation really quick. It was like $15 or $16 now.
Oh, yeah. Even the L'Oreal True Match, Hyaluronic Serum is $15. And to be honest with you, certain things like that, I don't think I'm as mad about because I can tell the difference in the formula.
That there was a change in it.
Oh, to me, that L'Oreal True Match, I mean
for $15 versus a foundation of the same caliber could be
$60 House Labs.
60, right.
That's what you're getting. It's
right.
And I don't see much of a difference between like House Labs and the L'Oreal True Match. To me, that's where I'm okay with upping it between 10 and 20 for these drugstore foundations if you know that they're going to get more oomph. Yeah, so I would say the NYX Serum Concealer, the Juvia's Place Concealer.
Also, the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Concealer and Foundation.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Yes. Setting powder.
Okay, so this is where I'm a little...
snobbier.
Yeah, because so I'm talking translucent powder is harder for me to find.
Okay.
Ooh.
Translucent drugstore.
ColourPop.
Yes.
My favorite one of all time. That
stunning.
pressed setting powder, but the loose setting powder, I'm still up in the air. Can't find one that I love.
I would say loose or pressed. The NYX setting powders are absolutely stunning. I have them here somewhere, especially for mature skin. They're so finely milled. That is like my closest dupe I've ever found to the Huda or along those lines.
The ones, the Can't Stop, Won't Stop?
It's the HD finish setting powders. They have them in pressed and loose. And one of the pressed ones I bought and reviewed, it's actually, this one is green. And it literally is for people with redness. Like if you put this over a finishing powder on top of it, it will actually color correct the redness. NYX, their formula is so silky and finely milled. Another one that I fell off the train that everybody loved was the Coty Airspun. I mean, the fragrance, you could bottle it and whatever. That's in too much to me. And it always made me look too heavy. It was too heavy after a while. But I love the Wet n Wild translucent powder. The photo focus.
Okay, I have to take my statement back. That is one setting powder I
amazing
used forever.
$4.99.
Amazing.
$4.99. Wet n Wild photo focus.
I did forget about that, so I take that back. I do have a favorite drugstore loose setting powder. That's translucent.
Incredible.
And there's multiple shades too, which I like, but I still like the regular just translucent, but they have like a banana one, and then I think there's like a honey that's like a little more like a little warmer.
Yeah.
Very
and then powder foundations. You and ColourPop powder foundation is to die for. As good as Charlotte Tilbury.
If not better.
Let's talk about the Charlotte Tilbury airbrush powder.
Okay,
I think that's
for
so
$48,
it's so overhyped.
$48, and you have 4 shades of a fucking setting powder.
I know,
and
you do not need that Charlotte Tilbury.
And you're trying to tell people, oh, it's so like widely universal. I have to mix 2 shades. The fair is too goddamn light. The medium is too goddamn yellow. And I'm over here mixing. Now I'm using $100 worth of powder. Yeah. You got me fucked up.
Exactly. Yeah, I switched in my kit. I bought a couple shades of the ColourPop, and I love the recyclable packaging. You can pop the pan out and then just refill the pan. Yeah. So you could recycle the plastic thing. So when I bought them, I recycled the plastic pan, and then I put the metal pans in a Z palette, and I used that for bridal constantly. It was stunning.
I didn't even think about doing that, because I even wanted to check too. I looked on ColourPop.com if they had the refills, because I just want to put them all in a Z palette. I would buy all of them now.
I know.
And I couldn't find them, so I don't know if they're like doing something, but I'll buy the cases and then just recycle them.
And then I gotta say, guys, it's new. It just came out. It's not going to be at the drugstore, but it's drugstore price. SheGlam just came out with a new powder foundation that has me held hostage in a dungeon. This $8.99. This powder, it's the Soft Focus high coverage powder foundation. I'm doing a video with them because I loved it so much. It's coming out soon. It's like, I don't know whether it's going to be out before or after this, but it is 5 ways to use powder foundation, and I will show you everything about it. But this powder foundation, I gotta say, it might be the best powder foundation I've ever used.
For $8.99.
It has, honestly, especially me as somebody who is oily, I struggle with liquids. I'm just so tired of doing a full beat and going to these events, and my nose gets so shiny and whatever. And I've fallen in love with the best foundation I've ever used is the Dior Forever Matte Foundation. It's absolutely stunning, blurring. Check out for all my oily combo and mature skin people on YouTube. Her YouTube handle is Hot and Flashy. She's an amazing YouTuber, mature skin, and she's the one that put this on. Same texture on the nose, oily combination skin. Put this on, made me fall in love with it. It's still her favorite foundation. That's why I bought it. She's not lying. It's incredible. But I'm not kidding you. This SheGlam powder, it has honestly turned me on to almost doing my entire foundation as just powder, which is unheard of. I've never not used liquid, but the way this wears, because I'm combination in the T-zone, is absolutely stunning. And I'm talking mature skin, everything. It is
the texture of it is beautiful.
Beautiful. We have it on today.
Yeah.
Yeah. We said it.
I mean, it really is stunning.
So I know that's not at the drugstore, but that is absolutely stunning.
Extremely worth it. And the shade range too.
Oh, ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Great
cool
colors.
Tones.
Yep.
Yes. Neutral. So good. Comes with the puff. Packaging is stunning.
The packaging for real, though, is absolutely stunning, too.
I know. I got to give SheGlam a lot of credit. They really do. Even those highlighters that came. They just came out with the Frida Kahlo collection that the eyeshadow palette it's a 9-pan palette. And when you open it up, all 9 pans, it's literally a picture of Frida Kahlo. And you have to, as you take your finger and go into it, it turns into the color that the actual eyeshadow palette's going to be, what all the 9 shades are. But on the very, very tippy top layer is this
overspray.
Exactly. Of the they're just very, to me, it's wild, like the uniqueness. And I use them so much over the holidays too. The Corpse Bride collection. Oh, it's really fun stuff.
That's right. You used that whole palette, and you were a blue bitch.
I was a blue bitch.
You were a blue bitch.
From nipples to back of my head. Yeah.
I love that.
I know. Let's do bronzer and contour and separate the two because these brands are out here to confuse you. So bronzer.
Bronzer, I got mine.
Powder and or cream. So to me, the powder bronzers, the ColourPop, it's the pans, which I don't know if they sell in store anymore, which breaks my heart, but stunning.
It's same colors. They just redid that packaging now.
Okay, so they're
the packaging is smaller. The squares now. So
same,
when you go
it's
to
the
your
same
ColourPop,
component as the powder foundation.
Blush.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they changed it over now to where it's like that clear screen, and then it's just the color you could see through.
Which it used to come in the Jagunda pan that looked like a Marc Jacobs dupe. I know, which I wish they kept
Jagunda, girl.
Not Jagunda. I wish they kept it as that, but the ColourPop bronzer are amazing.
Oh my God,
I also love
so good.
Milani Silky Matte bronzer. Wish they had more shades, but it's
Don't think I've tried it.
The L'Oreal bronzer.
That I was gonna say the L'Oreal bronzer.
Infallible.
Holy shit.
They just came out with blushes.
Blush.
I know. Trend Mood just put it up. I know.
Holy shit. I'm going to run right now. I want that goddamn pink one.
Yep.
Give me the blush.
Those are incredible. And then cream bronzer, the Milani contour wands. But
you're saying bronzer.
They're bronzer because they are bronzer.
Because they're not contour.
Nope. They're warm tone.
Okay.
Yeah. Same with the e.l.f. We talked about it last week. They are bronzers. They are warm tone. Yes.
Well, and it's weird too because the fair one is gray.
The most cool tone.
And then
it
the
jumps
shade
up.
After is bronzer.
Warm. Yeah. So, but those, so the cool tone one might be, that.
But it's light gray.
I know.
So it's going to work for a small number of people as a contour.
Very fair.
And then everybody else is stuck with bronzer shades.
Totally. And then, as far as contour powder, the e.l.f. The Essence contour duos. There's a fair light and a medium deep. 2 of them. That is an actual contour color that is beautiful to sculpt. Oh, you know what? e.l.f. just came out with a cream and a powder contour palette, the 4 pans, remember?
They redid it too because they had that years ago of the powder.
Cool tone.
And it's much better.
Yeah.
The cream one I just bought, I haven't used it yet.
Yeah.
But I'm like feeling like the formula itself. I haven't worn it, but feeling it and blending it out on the hand, I was like, this is amazing.
And then NYX has the contour palettes. They're almost like the Pro, where there's almost like the 8 pans.
They still have that?
Yeah. They got them. Look in Ulta, girl. They're buried under. They're on like the bottom shelf.
That 8 pan. I used to have that in my kit when we did Fashion Week.
Cool. Yes.
That's all I used because I was like, give me one contour palette that I can use on every skin tone.
That is it.
And I was sculpting everybody with
and
that
I think
palette.
for 8 of those big pans in that thing, I think
25?
the whole thing's $20. Yeah, if it $25. Yeah,
amazing.
That is awesome. And
it's refillable too.
Yes,
you can refill those
totally.
pans.
And then cream contour, I showed you the other day. People sleep on, so it's hard to find, but the Ulta Beauty brand, so Ulta Collection, they have 3 contour sticks. It's almost blended in with their stick foundation, but there's 3 shades right at the end of the gondola, and instead of it being like medium chestnut and medium ivory or whatever the names are, these 3 are just called light, medium, and deep, and they are 3 of the most cool tone contours I've ever used in my life. And I have deep because I can never get my hands on medium, so it's too dark for me, but I just diffuse it out and make it work. But I'm dying to find it because Ulta Collection makeup always looks like Black Friday. Like it's never stocked up because people don't show it love, so they don't whatever. But I'm dying to find that is a beautiful contour stick.
I need to use it.
I know.
Immediately.
I got to try to find it. Blushes.
Before we go into that, do you remember? This just like triggered a memory. Do you remember the chokehold that cushion bronzer from Wet n Wild used to have on you?
Because it was amazing. And they got rid of it.
I know.
Remember when they sold it out? You bought me like 5 of them when I found it. I loved it.
Yes.
Because there was no cream bronzers yet, really, in that way at the drugstore.
And that cushion bronzer, when like the cushion compact foundations from like Lancome and all these other
which
brands
were also
like
incredible. The Wet n Wild cushion foundation, that was amazing.
Incredible. I was so sad when they got rid of.
You know what is also to die for? If you are looking for something, and honestly any skin type, because I, with oily skin, wear it all the time, or combination skin, but especially for dry, it would also be gorgeous, is the Wet n Wild skin tint. You know what I'm talking about.
The one with the paddle?
Nope. It is the Wet n Wild Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator. Girl, if you want something, this is what I wore this for so long, is like my guy makeup when I wanted perfect, but literally someone with a microscope would not know I had anything on.
Is it new? Like
no. This came out, I think, oh my God, almost like 2 years ago, year and a half ago.
I've never seen it.
It literally is like tinted water. You boop, 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 blend it out. Looks stunning. Wear stunning. So slept on.
Okay, well,
$4.99.
Add to cart.
Blushes. Drugstore blush is out of control. Especially even with the cream. So go ahead.
I'm ready because so I'm a big fan of like powder products in general, but I've like in the past year, I've really gotten into creams and whatever. But powder-wise, those ColourPop ones.
Stunning.
I almost called it Prairie Dog. What is it called? The pink one?
Not Prairie Dog.
What is it called? The pink one? Prairie something? Prairie Air.
Prairie Air. Yeah.
Okay,
Odd
Prairie
name.
Dog.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that one, fucking color.
I know.
There's like that brighter orange color because I go for the same colors and I always like try and do that. But the ColourPop blushes, stunning. I want to try those new L'Oreal Infallible powders because they look incredible. And I feel like it's going to be amazing. If they're anything like the bronzers, I know I'm going to love them.
I loved for the longest time was one of my, and I don't know, the shade range might not be there, but it was Allie Glines had turned me on to it in the beginning of me doing bridal makeup. It is the Revlon. It's a Revlon blush in the color 20 Vibrant. It is just rich girl blush. You just look stunning. It is one of my favorite blushes. I haven't had it forever. No, matte.
Okay.
It's but silky where it doesn't look, that is stunning. Powders. I'm trying to
Milani. Those rose ones.
Oh, geez, Lou. The rose. Those are the matte. Yes. They have a pressed rose. Those are the matte.
Those are
stunning.
Great.
And then if you like a shimmer blush, the Milani. Luminoso and Dolce Vita in the baked. You know what I'm talking about. The Milani Baked Blush. Kevin.
Yep.
Yes, the Milani Baked Blush.
Yep.
Luminoso, that's like a makeup artist staple.
Yep.
And Dolce Leche, I think it might be called. But
so those were incredible.
Yes.
Yep.
And then I also got to give it to, I don't know where you can find them in person, but Koki blushes. They're the
what did you just call me?
Koki blush. It's like their ombre.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, Koki blushes.
Oh, you did a video on these and I was obsessed.
What are they called on the back? The gradient, I think soft gradient blush.
Soft gradient blush.
Absolutely stunning. I think they're like $8 each. The colors are beautiful. The pigment is through the roof.
Wow. Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful pressing into the pan.
Koki.
And then creams, I feel like, is out of this world. There's so many. But I got to say, right out of the gate, the Juvia's Place liquid blushes that just came out.
Those Juvia's Place blushes, talk about a rare beauty dupe for $14, I think.
Stunning. Yep.
Insane.
Then the Milani blushes, the same as the bronzing wands. They came out with coinciding blushes and highlighters. Let's.
Well, it's like shimmery though, right? The blushes are shimmer.
They might have a little, kind of like they were like Pillow Talk dupes, which I agree with you. It's not my favorite, and I don't like a luminous.
It's not my zhuzh because I don't really love shimmery blush on me.
Yes.
It's just not. It's giving like NARS orgasm, and I'm kind of over it.
100%.
I just don't. I like my highlight to be shimmery, and I like my blush to just.
I like my blush and bronzer to be more matte, and I'll add in the glow. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll decide. Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Don't tell me to glow. Yeah. How did you feel about the e.l.f. putty?
Get away from me.
I didn't like them. Everybody
they were
loves them.
Disgusting.
Yeah, they don't give me any pigment on the brush. I was like trying to use a brush and a beauty blender, and nothing's coming out.
I tried using my finger even to apply it, and it was like the product was on my finger, and I was lifting my foundation up, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of them. I got it so...
Nothing.
Yeah, no.
It could have been so great, too, if they were just a little more like emollient, like a little more creamy. I felt like they were too like thick and like pasty. You couldn't even like get it out.
You know what is a beautiful cream blush is Milani, too. They have the sticks.
Oh, the
and then the
pan.
And the pans. They have
the pans,
pan and
I know you...
in there the sticks. You can see the top to them. They are so beautiful and pigmented.
Well,
Milani
I know that's
cream blush.
Isn't that what you pack on when you're Barbara?
is the one in the pan.
Yeah,
that's the.
Because you said,
"Oh, Mama, she needs a blush."
Yeah,
yeah.
And because I feel like I've seen that many a times in Barbara's hands where you're like,
I've used the same one since the beginning of this whole journey because I don't know, it's like a tradition.
beaten,
I'm like,
battered,
I have to
and
use
bankrupt.
the same. It looks wretched.
You have beaten up that blush.
It is gross.
It's the same one.
Listen, I know it's expired.
Milani,
I know.
Send him a new one.
I know. Who knows? But they're absolutely stunning.
Girl.
I know.
Okay, so here's my complaint though about Milani products. They come out with 3 or 4 shades of everything. They don't do a lot of like variation of like blush colors, bronzer colors, highlight, whatever. Like they come out with like a couple of, and I'm like, give me like a range of blush, a range of bronzer.
And I feel like they're also the kings of when they come out with something new, they take something away, even if it's good or not. So then you can't find it on the gondola, which always drives me nuts.
Can we just talk about really quick, speaking of Milani and taking things away, they kept the Keep It Full glosses, the plumping ones.
Yeah.
They took away one of my favorite shades in the whole world.
Not champagne.
No,
okay.
I know that's your judge. Mine was called Almost Bare.
Yeah.
Or almost, no, it was Almost Bare. It was 01. It was
Bareback.
One of the original. It was milky white nude. I was the only bitch. You couldn't tell me anything.
Let me tell you. Okay, so I can't even really drag Kevin this much because I'm the same way. We're both two people that we always joke around. When we want nude lips, we want what we've lovingly referred to as porn star nude. Like I'm talking just nude. We want a little bit of definition in the lip liner, but then the center.
Yeah.
And
I need a
when
cup
we
of
worked at
sugar.
Sephora,
yeah.
this mother used to walk out of the back piling on buxom white Russian lip gloss as if you were getting paid by the swatch.
Oh my God.
Goopy doop with these Swedish juicy lips you have. You could see him from space. Anytime I turned and looked at Kevin, he was putting more white Russian on.
I used to put tweezers in my lip gloss and rip out the stopper so I could just goop it out on my lip. I know.
Just spatula it on.
No, I really would. I would actually just take tweezers, especially with the buxom, because you know those applicators don't pick up shit.
Yeah.
I would have to take tweezers and I would sit there and I would rip out the stopper. And so then it was just open. It was a free range for me to just go in there and
just pour it on. Yeah.
On that
We've
gloss.
already gotten YouTube comments about your lips. Like people
Really?
say, yes, because you could land a plane on them. They are juicy and gorgeous.
I want a buxom plane to land on these with white Russian.
That white Russian, man. You would.
My God.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to come out and I would roll the applicator on and goop it on in big globs and then spread it out.
Listen, we all do. We all have things.
Yeah. And that was, oh my God, Marc Jacobs, Moon Glow.
I never tried
or something.
It.
Oh my God, those glosses. R.I.P. Marc Jacobs.
I was going to say.
Amazing. I would goop that on too. Love it.
Okay. Highlighters. I don't know how many people are wearing blinding highlighters from space, but I can very quickly. If you want a blinding highlighter, the Revlon Skin Lights highlighter, complete dupe for the Amrezy.
Okay. So here's my thing though with like gold highlights.
Yeah.
They are always like that front facing when you're looking in a mirror.
And then it has a cast. Yes.
And
which I don't know if the Skin Lights does it. There's a very gold one, but then there is a champagne-y one that really doesn't do that to me.
I'll have to check at home and see because I feel like I
Yeah.
bought one of them and I was like, I see like almost like
cast.
a pink cast or a gold cast, and I was like, I'm over it. Do you remember every time Wet n Wild does something limited edition, they always come out with those loose highlighters? There was like the Zodiac collection.
From space. Those are the most blinding, finely milled highlighters. Stunning.
Do you remember the
very
when they
blinding.
did that jewel collection? It was like jade, amethyst.
Yes.
When they did that, there was the triangle highlight, and it was.
You gave it to me. I still have it.
Do you still have it?
I still have it.
That
again. Blinding.
It was like cream, and you would just right in the middle, and it was. White.
I would say for people who are
snatched.
looking for like a really natural, beautiful highlight, I used to use Bridal all the time because I didn't want that blinding highlight on them. Like people don't want that, especially in photos.
No.
You just want to look like your skin has that. Is the
Essence
Pure Nude Highlighter. Again, that was an Alley
I think you gave me
years
that
ago.
too.
Yep.
Oh my God.
And they just came out with deeper shades of it. So
that
is stunning. And they came out with blush versions. I have it. I bought it. I haven't tried it yet.
Ooh.
But that pure nude line from Essence is stunning. And you know what else is the ColourPop highlighter? It might have been limited. No, I think they have them. The ColourPop in the same pans as like the
compact
blushes. And yep, ColourPop highlighter is gorgeous.
I saw the 3 of them in store, and I'm like, I'm kind of on the fence with them because here's my pet peeve too, is that when you see a highlight that looks almost more on the like the lighter side, it's almost like that white pan, kind of like Anastasia, it's called Iced Out, but then when you swatch it, yellow gold.
Okay.
It's like yellowy gold. And I'm like,
okay. And then I got a rapid fire. I'll say mine and you could say yours too. I would say for me, the best drugstore lip liners, anything NYX. NYX has a chokehold on the lip market. NYX, I love the LA Girl lip liners, long pencils, precision lip liners, they're called, to die for, and they're $2.99 each. My favorite colors are Bear and Sugar and Spice.
I would say NYX 100%, and the Maybelline ones, the retractables, Gone Greige. There's one Bear something too. Yeah. They have a beautiful pink one. I mean, any of them stunning.
Yeah.
Those Maybelline lip liners. Oh my God.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then lips, I mean, lip to me is such personal preference. Like, I feel like nobody makes bad lips in a way. If you want that glossy that is not going to literally transfer on a cup, the Maybelline vinyl inks that just came out are to die for. The shaky, I love them. Especially red lips. I put that on my stepmom for a wedding and she couldn't take it off at the end of the night and it looked great. But we don't mind if a lip comes off throughout the night. We would rather a glossy.
I like that formula. It's not the best. Out of that vinyl-y formula, I got to maybe try it again, but not a huge fan.
Is there a drugstore one in that you like better?
For vinyl?
Yeah. The Revlon is pretty good.
I should be a spokesperson for Revlon. How many times I've spoken about number 7, Partner in Crime.
Yeah.
Holy
and
mother
what
of
is
God.
it? My go-to?
The
Cool Tone Nude.
001 or whatever.
Stunning. That's that same dry down. And then lipsticks. I mean, any L'Oreal, Maybelline, regular twist up lipsticks.
I would even, it's kind of,
So many. Lip glosses. The Keep It Full by Milani. Obsessed.
Amazing. Yep.
Any of the NYX. And then eyes. I would say people always ask me transfer proof eyeliner. I love the e.l.f. No Budge NYX twist up.
I like the NYX even eyeliner, the liquid one with the brush tip.
Yes.
Very similar to like KVD. That one's my favorite.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
My sister always wears, if you like a eyeliner in a pot, like to paint on, she uses, it is the Revlon Color Stay eyeliner. She's my sister. I see her constantly. We've known each other for 30 years. Every single time I go over her house. And my sister's the queen of wing liner. I will just stare at her face. And it is so black, so matte, so beautiful. Every time I see her, I'm like, what is the eyeliner? And she looks at me. She's like, Revlon Color Stay. Says it over and over again. To die for. And you know what? To this day, never bought it. I don't know why.
I need to buy that.
I know.
Because I tried the Maybelline one. Not a fan.
I wasn't a fan.
It was gray.
I know.
It wasn't a fan. Black. It was like almost like off, like kind of gray.
What about, I feel like mascaras, you're going to be more informed than me.
Oh, mama. Okay. The new Milani one that is tubing it's called Highly Rated. I'm sure you've
turquoise
seen it
packaging.
Online. It's absolutely stunning.
I mean, I love
think of like my tops.
Maybelline
Sky
High. If you like a nice thin brush, especially on the bottom lash line. And then Lash Paradise. Oh.
Do you know which one I like too?
That's a very thickening,
the ultimate, the
black unlimited
one with
that twists.
That like brush that bends.
Love it.
Crazy.
Absolutely.
Love that.
Another one I'm obsessed with, which again, not drugstore, but you can get it on Amazon. It's a brand called Clio. And it is, it's called Lash Killer. And they have 3 different kinds, a lengthening, a thickening, and then there's like the red tube is everything. That one is unbelievable. That is stunning. Yeah, Clio. And again, I think it's like $8 or something. And I think they have browns, which just is for brown mascara. Can we get brown?
Do you remember the days of like colorful?
Not black, brown.
But like colorful mascaras too. Like sometimes I was a little flirty and cute.
ColourPop like, still kills it with that.
They have like red and yellow, and MAC did a collection where they had like it was like a bowling collection.
I know.
They had like every color. They had like coral, yellow, green, turquoise. I bought almost all of them.
I know.
Stunning.
But it was so funny because my best friend has red hair, Bethany, and she one day is when we realized she was like saying, she's like, I can't find a brown mascara. And I started hunting, and it really made me realize, I'm like, oh my God, you're right. Like everything is black, brown. Nothing.
If it's not Dior,
yeah,
Dior,
hard to find a good drugstore brown mascara.
Okay, for all the redhead girlies out there, go out. I think they sell a mini of it too. Charlotte Tilbury, I think it's a Pillow Talk in that family. They have a Pillow Talk color mascara, and it's like a reddish brown.
Okay.
It is stunning. Go buy the mini, get that. Pop that on if you're a redheaded girly, or if you're blonde, light lashes, or if you just want something that looks a little more natural than black. Go try that mascara. It is such a beautiful color, and it gives you like naturally like lengthened lashes. So beautiful.
And then I think all we really have left, unless I'm forgetting anything, is eyeshadows and setting spray. It's really hard nowadays with eyeshadow because I feel like a lot of drugstore brands come out with amazing eyeshadow palettes, but everything is limited edition. So it's so hard to keep up. I reviewed last summer, LA Girl came out with, it was like a summer bronzy palette, and it's absolutely stunning. And I felt so bad. I just got a comment on the YouTube short. We're talking, this YouTube short is a year and a half old, and she was like, where can I get this? And I was Googling it. I'm like, I'm sorry, girl, they got rid of it. Like they made it into something new because everything's limited edition. So that being said, I would say, as far as like you want just a budget-friendly boatload of, especially their matte formula, I like a little bit better. Any of the Morphe palettes, like your 350, that is such a staple. Get the Morphe 350 for your neutrals because they don't go away.
Did you see the new one that just came out? It was like the 35, like metallic something, whatever. It's like all their formulas in one palette now.
And they're so good at creating color stories.
I need to try it.
They have such a beautiful one of like all blush tones and then maybe stuff with some fun colors. This is a category for me that has amazing indie brand stuff that is drugstore price, but you're gonna only really be able to find it online. Like I would say, is Glamlight expensive?
Glamlight is actually not that crazy. I was looking on their website the other day. I think their palettes are like maybe anywhere between 27 and 35.
And they're blinding. Like the shimmers are to die for.
I mean, it's not drugstore pricing necessarily, but paying a little extra and you are getting
40 colors. You know what I mean? If you divide, and that's what I tell people all the time about eyeshadow is it opened my eyes to it.
Yeah.
It
$2 a shadow.
Yes. It opened my eyes to it one time because I was like bored in CVS and like I shouldn't have been buying makeup, but I just needed to get out of the house. And I saw this little Revlon quad, which I know, don't judge me, but it was a Revlon quad of 4 shadows and it actually looked really good. They were really good. But then when I got home, I was like, this 4-pan quad was $10. A Morphe palette is 24 or even, no, 26, I think, but you're getting 38. 40 shadows. I'm like, by dividing, this Revlon palette is so expensive.
Speaking of, if you don't mind paying a little extra for shipping, Beauty Bay.
Oh,
the Beauty Bay brand.
God.
Holy hell.
Beauty Bay eyeshadow palettes.
I was shocked because and they always have sales on them too, where they're like 40% off. And the one time I ordered like all the bright mattes because I was like, give me just bright mattes of everything from a white to all the neutrals to every pop of color I'll ever need but matte. I was like, okay, what am I going to expect for really? I paid $12.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
To die for.
Yes. Formula. I'm going to order I want to get them all for my kit. Like, give me like one big one of all the neutrals with like shimmers and everything. Yeah. Stunning. Blinding.
And I would say too, I feel like people either love or hate the ColourPop's Super Shock shadows. I love some of them. I think some of them are a little, but other ones are stunning.
I use them. There's 2 colors I use religiously in my kit, especially like after I do like everything with the soft shimmer, I'll like take that even with my finger or brush and just pat it on that lid.
Yeah.
And it just takes it to the next
level. Yeah.
Those shadows, people, or it could be user error too. So like try different ways of applying, because if it's not working with a brush, try it with the finger.
Yep.
They are absolutely stunning. That's another good
one. Oh, the e.l.f. liquid glitter eyeshadows. Flirty Birdie is the best liquid eyeshadow. It's literally Kitten Karma from Stila. Flirty Birdie, amazing. I just did a couple videos using Bling Bling, this silver, to die for.
Disco Daydream.
Amazing. There's even a pinky one. I'm forgetting.
Yes.
Pinky Swear, maybe. And they got to be $3.99 or if not less. They are
they're so inexpensive,
so beautiful. And then I would also say, as far as pot glitter shadows / liquids, Moira. It's online only. They're on a different level, and the shade range is through the roof. And then I would say setting sprays.
That e.l.f. one.
e.l.f.
That e.l.f. in the green bottle.
Microfine.
Mama.
So good. Yep.
$10
doesn't budge.
And I think you actually get, and this is what pisses me off too. Don't let the size of a bottle fool you, because it will be the same amount as a bigger bottle too. What is it? what is e.l.f.? Let's do the
e.l.f. is 2.7 fluid ounces.
Oh, shit.
And the all-nighter is
3.4.
Yeah.
Oh, 4 ounces?
4 ounces, yeah.
Okay, but for the price, if you buy 2 e.l.f. ones for $20, you're still
getting the same. Yeah. So that's what but that's the thing too. And it's like, again, you can do the math. I always do that too. Get in the habit of dividing your product amount by the price because there is times that things can be cheaper when you don't realize it, when you divide it. But the e.l.f. Microfine Mist, I love.
That is incredible.
I love the Milani matte setting spray. That has always been very good for me for matte. And then, I would say the e.l.f. for everybody else, like dry, etc. Oh, and very quickly, I want to include brushes. The very first brush that I ever bought, again, Allie Glines, was from BH Cosmetics. It is
R.I.P. I think they just went out of business.
Don't tell me that, Kevin.
I swear it could be false information, but I swore that they filed for bankruptcy.
Okay, well, the website is still up and running, and I see brushes at the moment, so maybe that's your sign to just go for it. But they are the brush that I got, it has this gold neck to it, and I think it was an 18-piece brush set with a holder for 20-something, 20. I've had these brushes.
Do you remember
when I started doing bridal makeup?
The Doja Cat brushes?
Yes, I know. Yeah.
They look like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I mean. Go to the BH Cosmetics site
and
get
the regular
one of the
brush
things.
sets. Don't.
Yes. And then a good dupe for all the Ariel Morphe brushes is go on Amazon and look up Jessup, Jessup brushes. She dupes all amazing, famous brush lines, and they're also to die for.
I bought 3 sets of them, and they are incredible.
Well as I got to include the e.l.f. Any e.l.f.
Real Techniques.
Oh, of course, the e.l.f. brushes. I mean, and Real Techniques brushes. I was going to say they're sponges. e.l.f. The complexion sponge
camo one?
And the camo under eye. It's called the Camo Sponge Thinner. It's a nude shade for the under eye blending out concealer to die for.
Yeah, those Real Techniques brushes are to die for too. I love them.
Yeah,
absolutely love them.
Stunning. Alrighty, guys, that is it. I hope this helped. That was rapid fire. We literally, I knew it was going to be.
That was
the two of us are psychos.
That was the director's cut.
We know the inventory of drugstore makeup off the top of our head. So we wanted to pack all this in. I really hope this helped. Let us know if you want us to do the same thing. Yeah. I would love to do one of these where it's basically luxury makeup that's actually worth it.
Oh, let's do it.
AKA not Charlotte Tilbury airbrush powder.
So
yes,
clearly.
That's what I mean. Like what's actually worth your money if you want to spend the difference.
So if you want to see that, let us know.
That is it, guys, for another episode of Beautiful and Bothered. We will be back next week for a brand new episode. Make sure to subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review. Also subscribe to the official Beautiful and Bothered YouTube channel because you get the podcast a day early on Sunday and it is available for streaming everywhere else on Monday.
Wherever you are, I hope you are happy, safe, and healthy. And remember, you are beautiful.
Bye, guys.
Bye.